Right, it's time for my blog. I shall get the main news out of the way. As you know, it's been quite a busy week. The last week we had a strike force event and we had a WEC event, and that's sort of what I want to talk about. Obviously people know that I'm quite a supporter of Jens Pulver and that he lost pretty quickly in the first round by choke to Grisby. We don't know if he's retiring or not at the moment. Obviously I support him no matter what he decides there. It is sort of heartbreaking to keep seeing it happen, but on the other hand, because I know where my loyalties lie, I don't really mind if he continues and loses every single match he ever plays. It won't change my support for him. So it's just a wait and see game with what happens there. Uriah Faber lost. It might have had something to do with the fact he broke his hand in the first round. I don't know. I think that Mike Brown possibly won that on merit, but I think because Uriah broke his hand, the institution may well push for a trilogy. It would be tragic for Uriah to lose thrice to him, is all I can say there. I'm quite pleased by the results of the match involving Cub Swanson and Josie Aldo. Aldo won the quickest of the whole night with a sort of stunning knockout. I believe there were knees, flying knees or something like that, to Cub Swanson. I don't like him, so I'm not particularly upset about that. I don't know about the decision loss for Jorgensen, which people are saying was political, because I didn't actually see that fight. I also want to say well done to Donald Cerrone, who won his match. Well done to Seth Deacon, who won his match, and to a sucker punch fighter that I support called Anthony Pettis, who won in fantastic style. So well done to all of those three. Suckerpunchent.com is your website to visit for that. In terms of the Strike Force event, I didn't do very well with my picks, I'm afraid. I picked Baroni and he lost, I picked Randleman and he lost, and I picked Arlovsky and he lost, so there we are. I also, of course, I didn't actually make a prediction video for this, because the main event featured Robbie Lawler, who is a Hit Squad person who I sort of support, versus Jake Shields, who I also support, and it was quite difficult for me to sort of make a prediction on that. I did think that Shields would probably lose in the end, so I was quite surprised that Lawler got submitted in the first round. Quite surprised at that, but well done to both there. Some news from last week's announcements. I heard that Al Buck won his match by a knockout, so well done to him. I heard that Anthony Morrison, who is a sucker punch fighter, won his match by a decision victory, so well done to him. I also heard that Ryan Sturdy, who entered the M1 challenge, I believe on short notice, he again is a sucker punch fighter, won his fight by decision, so that's fantastic. No news from Chad Griggs or Ryan Madigan on how their fights went, though. Have to excuse Jens is fluttering around the room. And now we go to our prayers. We are, as ever, praying for our forum moderator called Boomer. Boomer is out on deployment with the US forces in Afghanistan at the moment. So we should be praying for him until he returns. His is something that we have basically been praying for every single week since he went out there, and he's going to be out there for still quite some time, so let's keep up our prayers for that. not a prayer this, but just to let you know that Bill Williams, who was also out in Afghanistan, has come back from deployment safe and sound. We're waiting to see if he's going to be redeployed somewhere else, or if that is it for him. So welcome back to him. The other prayer request is from a new member called Surveyor Sean, who we ought to congratulate before I continue, because he got his blue belt in his respective martial arts last week, so well done to him. He has a son who is only a year old, has quite a serious heart defect, and is going in for surgery mid this month. So we must keep him in our prayers, and his son and the whole family, in fact. The other thing to announce is that Jojo is looking, well, he's got a fight now. I can't remember offhand when it is, but I thought I'd announce that. I have written it in my on my war planner, so I will announce that the week before it happens and follow it up the week after. Similarly, we heard that Mick the Hick, who is called Kim, she has got a fight coming up as well in the autumn sometime. We don't quite know when. It's not a martial arts fight. I believe it is a kickboxing fight, but that is fantastic. And when we have more news on that, of course we shall be following that. There was no particular excitement with my family this week, and I have to say that there has been no particular thing going on at my work either, so all is quiet there. Of course, the big news this past weekend was that, as well as Strikeforce and everything else going on there, I hasten to add that there is UFC 99 coming up next week, so look out for my video predictions on that. Was the fact that I went to Cage Gladiators again, and it was in fact completes now my full year of covering that. I write freelance for MMAHitPit.com, which is where you will find all the write-ups I do for that. And of course I came back with lots and lots of exciting videos which I've loaded up as well. And you can find links on my MySpace page to all of those. So that was a fantastic time. I always like going to Liverpool. I do like that event. Courtesy of Emil Coleman, who is the co-owner. So I thought I would sort of mention that as well. I can't think of anything else to say. So I shall bid you all farewell until next week.